It's so important to stay on top of our financial well-being. April is actually Financial Literacy Month, so we decided to speak with a financial literacy expert to learn all about the different things that we can do to stay on top of our own financial literacy.
Hi everyone, my name is Tammy Trenta and we're going to talk about Financial Literacy Month. Financial literacy is something that I've learned through the course of my career the importance of, and I've learned it through my own life experiences. I got to a point where you just assume that people know what to do with their money, and as you start to work with clients over the years, you realize that not everyone has the same acumen or level of sophistication, and it's sometimes alarming because I can't imagine a world, my world, without doing any type of planning, and so many of us have not had that education. I, for one, was never financially literate until I chose to enter the industry. And there's a lot of controversy right now about student loan debt and how we're going to address the insurmountable amount of debt that these young students take on to pursue higher education. And it seems like, in my mind, there are economic solutions and then there's the political solutions, and the political solutions to me are not great solutions. They seem like a band-aid, and perhaps it's because the people that are making those decisions are not financially literate themselves. Maybe they have people to do those things. And so what I think is so important is to raise the awareness of it, emphasize at a young age. In my perfect world, I would love to see all high schools and all colleges mandate financial literacy classes. I mean, I think about when I was on college campus and I got my first credit card, how exciting that was and how it felt like free money. And then at some point you have to pay that credit card. Also, I put myself through college. So I was one of those students who took on the burden of shouldering the student loans. And I remember at that time, because I was taking this on, trying to figure out, well, how am I going to pay for this? And how much money do I need to earn to be able to support the loan payments? I feel like that's not even something that gets thought about, especially if you're lucky enough to get into an Ivy League school like Harvard, where the tuition could be $200,000 a year.
Her team says that 78% of Americans actually live paycheck to paycheck, and if you've ever been there, like most of us have, then you know how hard that can be. Her team also says that 54% of millennials, are concerned when it comes to student loans, and that 66% of adults don't even have a budget in their lifestyles. But Tammy cares about your financial literacy, so she's got a few tips to help us all and for us to keep in mind. First up, she says it's important to work backwards because we've all got to start somewhere. And when you're able to trace back into, what to allocate for expenses, she says it's just extra context that can definitely be helpful. She also says something that you may have heard before in the world of finance: pay yourself first. Now, this is really important to do because most of us are working for other people at other companies, and when we don't put our own financial goals as a priority in our lives, we can really lose personal focus. Tammy recommends for us to build a 10% savings of whatever we earn in order to begin this process. Her team also outlines that each action has a reaction. What this means is we've got to prioritize and sometimes even sacrifice what we want right now for what's best for us in the bigger picture. Of course, this can definitely be really hard to do, but it's important to learn that, self-discipline, and it really helps us to stay on track with our financial literacy. And sometimes we're so focused on what we're bringing in that we forget to take into account what's being taken out. I'm talking automatic deductions for things like insurance and of course taxes. Don't forget about that. Tammy says we can't forget to pay Uncle Sam. And I say, hey, even try to plan for emergencies or other impromptu things that may possibly come up. A special savings account for situations like this can really be helpful. And lastly, she says that we really need to be our own financial advocate. This means that we can't let our past dictate our future. Her team outlines that even though we may think that, things are the way they are, it's just the way it is, it doesn't have to stay that way. We can really improve our financial literacy so that our money works for us. And she says it's never too late.